know you have a pretty big boat for cruising. It's very comfortable, but still, you're two of you by yourselves, 24/7. You can't just hop in your car and go off. I mean, how is it really for a couple? I mean, how do you maintain your independence, and what are the challenges? If you want to be so personal.
I've been enjoying the last few years. We're going right downhill, aren't we?
I don't know. We do a lot of things together, actually.
Yeah, I told my kids, I said, when you get married, find a partner who likes to do what you like to do. Mm-hmm. A lot of my friends, they like to go play golf, and their wife doesn't golf. So they're gone on Saturday, they're gone on Sunday. We both like the boat. We've had fun with it. We enjoy having a cocktail on occasion.
It's almost time.
But it's almost time. But we enjoy doing stuff together. And so it does it get a little tight? It does sometimes, but part of the beauty of this boat is a lot of places you can go.
Yeah.
I mean, I can sit up here with the music on, and she can be downstairs reading. I can sit out back.
Yeah. You can have some alone time.
Yeah.
For sure.
There's a lot of space here to have, so that helps a lot.
Yeah.
But we've been very lucky in that we like what we do and we enjoy doing it together.
Oh,
so
that's perfect.
Yeah.
He has his engine room time, and I work on projects. I've sewn quite a few things on the boat. I did all the curtains downstairs, the shades, cloths here, and things like that. And then when Mark works on projects, sometimes guys will be down there helping him in the engine room too. Yeah. We do play games sometimes at night and hang out and watch the stars together. I'll go grocery shopping quite often, or find another girlfriend and go grocery shopping and have some.
So you do
girl
have some
time.
things you split up,
right?
Like responsibilities and things like that.
I do try to help him in the engine room. I always offer to hold the flashlight for her, or
grab the tool.
The gopher.
Yeah.
Invariably, he's working in the front on something, and all the tools are in the back. So I run back and forth and get tools for him and try to help him that way. So.
And when you're underway, you have a watch schedule or something that you're comfortable with when it's just the two of you, or do you go overnight? Is that?
Yeah, we do, and that's one of the beauties of the cruising that we're looking at doing, and we've done so far, is that one, none of it is more than 24, 48 hours.
Yeah.
So you can get good weather windows for that. I mean, the boat's not stabilized, so it tends to roll some, but we pick our weather windows, and I've got way more time than I got money, so we wait for a good weather window and we'll run. And we can easily cover 100 miles in a day. It's a long day, but we'll cover 100 miles. And if to do it overnight, we did that coming over from La Paz. That was 30 hours running. And typically, we'll try to do 3 or 4 hour watches back and forth. And one of the stories, one of my first things of running a boat was I helped a friend of mine take a catamaran from Tampa up to Annapolis.
Oh.
And we ran 7x24 for 3 weeks.
Wow.
And I was telling Cindy, I said, "Oh, you're gonna love it out here at night. The stars are out; they're absolutely gorgeous, and you're out there all by yourself." And we could do our first overnight. And she's looking at this, going, "I got no stars. I got a canvas over my head. I can't see anything." So she actually has a perch up front that she'll climb up on and sit, so she can look out over the canvas and see the stars when she's cruising.
That's nice.
Yeah.
See the stars. All right, so this is pretty peaceful, but is there anything that scares you out here when you're cruising?
I worry a little bit about weather, but we do try to avoid bad weather, so that hasn't been a big issue for us so far, knock on wood, in the years we've been cruising. The one thing that I really get nervous at is when we're docking, coming in and out of the slip. You can do a lot of damage to the boat when you hit another boat or they hit you. So it's you have the calmness of the cruising, and then you have the sheer terror for like 10-15 minutes of coming into the slip.
Yeah.
And when we had our boat in Pittsburgh, once a week or once every other week, in the wind, we would back the boat out and go over and pump out, and Mark would practice going in and out, and I would shake, for 10-15 minutes afterwards.
Yeah.
So you drive over and you back all the way back to the slip.
Oh, wow.
So you practice the two of them.
Yeah.
And we're the only ones in the marina at that point because
that's a
winter,
good
no one
time
else
to
was
do
there. It was
it.
a great time.
Yeah.
And it's like anything else. You have to do it repetitive to get more comfortable with it.
Sure.
So. But other than that, I mean, pirates, gorillas,
Pirates. There's no
gorillas.
pirates here, right?
No pirates.
I haven't seen.
Yeah,
Pirates of the Caribbean?
But when I first started cruising, I've got the bear spray, I've got wasp spray.
You're all prepared.
I've got my
Where
flares.
is it? Yeah.
Well, and now I sleep with my doors open.
Yeah.
It ended up being Mexico is so peaceful. They're so friendly. The local pangas will come up and sell you fish, or trade fish for cokes. It's just not what they drum it up to be in the States.
Yeah.
I feel very safe down here. It's
That's
nice.
great.
So probably the only biggest fear is just, like I said, having something break down that you can't fix when you're out. Because
Yeah.
the more comfortable you get on the boat, the farther you go away from the dock.
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna head 1,500 miles up into the Sea of Cortez and go run the boat, and it's like,
You're like at a fishing village.
Yeah,
There's
you're-
nothing there.
yeah, there's no one there
Yeah.
who's gonna want to fix something on here
Right.
in most cases. So it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
but other than that, no. And then you get comfortable with the reliability of the boat and your dinghy. You go farther in your dinghy than you typically would because you get used to it running, and you go, yeah, it's good. We're good to go. But other than that, I mean, the people down here have just been fabulous, and the cruisers you meet. I mentioned earlier, it's kind of a different quality of people because you rely on each other, and you may be the only boat around for miles to help somebody. So when you meet somebody, they become your best friend, and your friends come and go. And it's funny, you'll be out at an anchorage by yourself, and you'll see a boat coming, and you go, "Do we know? We know them! Oh, great! Come on over, have cocktails."
Or we soon will.
Or we soon will. Yeah, we'll soon be best friends forever.
Well, it's a nice thing to have that community when you're even just out. You kind of get the feeling you're not all alone.
Yep.
Like if you had some trouble, you could call on
Yep.
somebody.
And we've broken down and had boats 10, 15 miles away turn around and come back to our aid. And luckily we didn't. Luckily we figured out what the problem was and we were able to correct for it. But it's just nice to know that they're out there.
Yeah.
But I mean, there is no U.S. boat down here. The Mexican Navy is probably not going to come out and help you.
Yeah.
So you need to have those kind of friends and rely on them.
Yeah. Wow,
Well-
guys, this is beautiful. Talk about visibility.
This is the Sky Lounge.
Yeah.
So we kind of live up here. I mean, both for driving the boat, because the visibility is so much better, but when we get to the anchorage, we can sit up here and we have music, we have our friends come up for cocktails. It's just a great view and a great breeze.
Yeah, it's really cool. Feels nice. So why don't we talk about operating the boat while you're underway? How is it? Who does the driving? Do you share that?
We both share driving. I do enjoy driving the boat. Usually when we're anchoring, I am driving the boat, Mark's dropping the anchor. I kind of learned years ago with our houseboat that I didn't want to lug up the anchor and the chain, so I started
smart.
driving the
The dirty,
houseboat.
muddy work. Yeah.
So I've been doing that for a while. Mark used to always do the docking with the houseboat, but I am learning how to dock this boat as well. So I've been taking it in and out of the marinas lately,
Oh, good.
and getting the hang of that, which
Yeah,
is
it's
very,
good.
very
'Cause
nice.
the more she does on the boat, the more she likes
Absolutely.
it, and a lot
Absolutely.
of wives will come and they'll sit on the boat, they'll help some, but the more she gets involved, the more she likes it, and so it works out better for both
It
of us.
kills the anxiety. The more you understand how
Yep.
to do things, and just the size of it, just
Going from a 36-foot, little single-engine houseboat to this big mammoth was very, very scary in the
Well,
beginning.
it's kind of like you don't know what you don't know.
Sure.
And so
Yeah.
I walked in the engine room. I couldn't even identify the stuff in there. I didn't know how to start the motors. And I used to work in telecom, and the old saying was, there's so much new stuff that comes up so fast. It's like trying to take a drink from a fire hose,
Yeah.
because it's just so much information.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how this boat was for us. But now, after being on it for 5 years and living full time and now cruising for 3,
Yeah.
we got much more used to it.
yeah, it's just a learning game.
Yep.
And day by day, and you learn something more each season, I'm sure.
So when we're underway and cruising, I like to sit up here a lot. It puts me up higher. I have a better view of the water, and then also I'm further back in the shade, so I'm not in the sun the whole time, and it's a
Yeah.
lot cooler and a lot nicer.
That's great. It's great the protection you have here while you're driving.
Yes, I love the shade up here. It's wonderful.
So how fast do you go generally when you're on your way? What's your speed?
We're a powerboat, but we don't go very fast. It's funny because the sailboaters always go, well, we'll meet you there because you're going to beat us. And we go, we cruise, about 8 knots, which is, about 9,
That's pretty
a
good.
little over 9 miles an hour. Somewhere between 6 and 8 knots, because it's thriftier. The Detroit diesels like to run. They always say you should run your diesel at about 80% power. But at that rate, I'd be burning about 65 gallons an hour.
Yeah.
And I can't
You
afford
couldn't do
that.
this very long.
No, it would be a short run. So we cruise at about there, and we burn about a gallon for every mile and a quarter we go.
Okay.
So about 8 miles a gallon, or 8 gallons an hour.
How many gallons do you carry? in your-
1,400. I always think we should get like a free dinner or a free lunch when we stop in and get fuel, because we're there for a while.
They like to see you coming.
Oh,
huh?
yeah.
Wow. So let's talk about cruising. Like, you're in Mexico, and what are some of your favorite places you've been? You've been here how many seasons now? 3 seasons, I think?
3 seasons total since we came down in 2015. It was November. We started out in La Paz, did the Sea of Cortez. We've been down here now between Puerto Vallarta and Bar Navidad since December of last year. We like it here. It's different kind of cruising. This one is more you're on land, going to restaurants and doing things up in the Sea of Cortez. You're anchoring out more in little anchorages, and you have people over for potlucks, and you do more snorkeling, and it's more water activities up in the Sea of Cortez. I like both of best of both
Different kind of
worlds.
water, also.
Yes,
Yeah?
yes, it is.
Much clearer down there. You can see the bottom. You drop your anchor and see the bottom and see the chain.
Yeah.
And we love it up there, so we're going to go back and do one more year before we go south. So we had a 15-year plan when we left San Francisco.
Oh.
And the 15-year plan was to go south, get through Panama, and go to the Caribbean. So now we're on like year 4, and we're still in Mexico, and we're going
You
back
are
up into
taking
the
it
sea.
slow.
Yes.
So we're not in a hurry. I mean,
Yeah.
you talk to some people, and they want to, they got a year or year and a half to do everything. We're not on a schedule, so we get somewhere and we take our time and we enjoy it. The sea we enjoyed so much because, one, you become very good friends with the people you meet up there. It's such a small community of boats, and the weather's so clear, and there's so many anchorages and so few boats that it's just phenomenal. Many places up in the States, you can't go anchor, period, or it's a limited amount of it. You anchor on the weekend. Mexico, you can still just drop the hook almost anywhere you want, and up there, there's so many bays you're by yourself. And you may pull and be the only boat there for a week or so.
In the Sea of
Yeah.
Cortez.
Which
It's just so tranquil.
Yeah.
I love that. too.
yeah.
And at night you can look up and the stars are like right here, because there's no lights around, so it's like camping up at 10,000 feet.
What about the wildlife? You see a lot of whales and dolphins and all that.
That is one of the better things about out cruising. Even anchored here in La Cruz, come December, eating my breakfast, and I can look over and see whales just swimming next to us in the anchorage, a mom and a baby. We were one time up in La Paz, and we recognized a fishing boat from the San Diego fishing fleet, and we could see 2 of the boats out there, and we could see some activity, and we brought the boat over, and there was, I think, blue whales feeding, and they kind of lay on their sides, open up their mouths and eat. And I was out on the very tip on the bow, and I was videotaping them, and all of a sudden to my left I see a whale coming, and I thought he was going to surface and maybe blow air at me. Well, right underneath me he opens up his mouth and just swallows up a whole mouthful of
wow.
the krill, and it was amazing to see and have them that close to you. It was just
a little scary.
yeah,
but...
yes it was, but it was very, very cool to see that. And the
great.
dolphins, sometimes you get like a group of 100 in a pod of dolphins, and they're just following you and swimming in your wake and splashing, and it's really nice. It's
That never
great.
gets old when they come up and swim on the bow of the boat and they're jumping in front of you. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't care. You're an 8-year-old kid right away, and you run up to the bow and you're down looking at that.
Dolphins!
Yeah.
I love that too.
So that's always very cool. Yeah, it doesn't get old. I mean, it's you watch the sun, that, and I mean, one of the beautiful things about, especially being out at the anchorage, is the sunsets and sunrises you get, because you've got an unlimited visibility. There's no buildings in front of you, and they're just phenomenal, and it never gets old.
Thank you so much again. Is there any last words you have to share? Or
For people considering doing it, like anybody say, cut the lines and go. There was a great line that Cruising Magazine, and God, I can remember the guy's name.
Bob Bitchin.
Bob Bitchins had, which was, the difference between an ordeal and an adventure is attitude.
Yeah.
So with the right attitude, everything is fun.
I would say just do it. You have a hard time giving up all your worldly possessions at home, but you know, when you listen to George Carlin, it's just stuff. You can buy stuff again. I did have storage. I hung on to it for a year or two, and then all of our stuff is finally gone. Everything we
Freeing,
own is
isn't
on the
it?
boat.
Yep.
Yes, and we're creating memories. That's, I think, more
That's
important than
priceless.
stuff.
Absolutely.
Yes, yes. So
We told our kids, don't think that we're leaving. Think where we are. It's a destination vacation.
yeah,
There you
You
go.
just have to get here.
That's right.
yeah, yeah.
Nice. Well, thank you so much.
Thank
You're welcome.
you.
Thank you guys.
Signing off from DeltaSwizzler.
I'm sailing, a touch of liberty. I'm sailing, a glimpse of eternity. All my dreams came true. Now my dreams are you. Feel the breeze to touch the sky. I'm sailing, breathe the liberty. I'm sailing, a new reality. I'll be free with you. Now I dream of you. Feel the waves to touch the sky. I'm saying